How y'all doing tonight? Wind Down Wednesday, and this is Knowledge Power Hour for the Financially Free Business Series. Today's topic is: could you be limiting your beliefs by hindering? Could they be hindering? Could your limited beliefs be hindering you from achieving success in business? And I decided to add life to it because these are something that that happens in life as well. So, did you get your wine glass? You got your notebook? You got pen and paper? Um, because I think you might want to write some things down. The reason why I chose this is because of my rules that I have for me and how I handle business, how I handle my life. And so I'm going to tell y'all a little story about one of my businesses that, and I'm getting better at working things the way I should. I do not allow my beliefs, I do not allow other people's beliefs or their opinions to affect me in a sense that is going to deter me from doing what I need to do. Because I'm a firm believer when the universe and God bring you to it, then you're going to have to go through it. And so, with that being said, I have a business that I've had for a long time. Like I told y'all last week, I've done some of everything. I worked Avon, I worked Mary Kay, I've done Neutralife, I've done I've done a lot. I've done Econ, I've done Planet Network, I've done, when I say I've been in Prime America, I have done a slew of these MLM because that's what they are. And don't get me wrong, I don't see anything wrong with it if that's your lane. So let me put that out there because I know we got these type of people who say, well, what's so wrong with this? Why are you saying something about this? I'm talking about me. This is my opinion. And you have yours. Your opinion does not overweight mine. My opinion is what I'm using to help others to get where they need to go, not to limit them. So if you're in the MLM, good for you. Didn't work really for me. Couldn't make the money I wanted to make because in my head, I'm supposed to get the majority of the money, not them. And the other business, which I realized that I was real, real good in, I did passion parties. Yeah, you heard me. I did passion parties. But there was this little thing because I am a PK kid, and if you don't know what a PK kid, everybody know what a PK kid is. It's a pastor's kid. I felt because of Christianity, people were telling me that I was sinning. But see, this was the thing. My niche was to help couples to enhance their bedroom and enhance their lives, and I was good at it. But I'm still good at it, because sometimes people want to do whatever it is, and nothing's defined in the bedroom. Whatever you decide to get down with, that's what you do. That's between you two, nobody else. So don't go there if you ain't been there. If you hear what I'm dropping. So anyway, with Exquisite Taste, how it was birthed was because Passion Party was making more money than me. I was buying product and I was not leveling out. And I knew I should have been getting more. I should have been doing more. And these people are on my butt because of the money I was bringing them in. I even had went as far as to, I started, there was a couple of places in Mississippi down south that they, because back there you couldn't put things out front. So they had these little back rooms, that kids or anybody couldn't get into, that if you knew what was going down, you can go and get your products and things from back there. But I got so good, but like I said, I wasn't making the money that I saw that Passion Party was making. I felt like I should have been making. I really, truly believe that I should have been making. Because of the simple fact is that I was out here hustling for them. You get what I'm saying? And if you have any comments or any questions, dial 678-888-1723. And don't forget to share. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to join us. Hit the link, subscribe with us. You like being with the team. I promise you, it's worth it. This table, you will always be respected. And if you want, give me a star or two or more. More is even better. Um, that shows that the commentary that I'm giving you is great. But anywho, back to enticement. So before there was an enticement, like I said, and I struggled with that. And the young lady that was over me, I something happened and I had to slow down. She had the audacity to call me and ask me what was the problem. Because with those ladders, you making everybody money but you, because you're on the bottom. Even though I had moved up a couple of levels, I still was not making the money that I felt like I should make. So when she asked me why I wasn't handling my business the way I should, and being a team player and doing like I was supposed to, and I even recruited a couple of people. And I thought about it. I'm like, why am I making these people this money? So I ended up, because I still was with Mary Kay, I let Mary Kay go. I was already a cosmetologist, and so I let them go, and I was doing makeup for Nina Renee, and I loved what I was doing there. I stopped doing hair because with Black people back then, you want a layered look, but you don't want a layered cut. Come on now, get it together. So, like I said, so I started doing, because we had just started having computers. I invested in me a computer. And I went to work. I started researching until I found me, not one, not two, not three, but 5 distributors that I can go to with my EIN number, my sales tax ID, and my seller's permit. Whatever they were asking for, I was giving it back then. And I was able to get products and sell them on my own. So then, enticement. I've been with that name for the longest. I love the word entice because that's what you're doing. I taught self-love. I taught couples. It was just something. And then, and I even taught a couple of older women who was having issues with being loose in the bedroom, which was to me weird because y'all the biggest freaks. But it is what it is. So enticement's been around for a very long time. It was around before my son was born. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because sometimes with your limited beliefs, it can hinder you. I know for a fact that enticements can be a great success if I will sit down and concentrate on that. But right now I'm on something else, but I am still working on that as well. I have plenty of different businesses and ideas that I am gradually working, and I'm learning that to stick with one, but when something comes to me about something, I go ahead and I implement and I add to it. You get what I'm saying? You can have multiple business, but you have to know when you're growing something, you have to know when to go back and do what you need to do in order to take it to another level. So my thing was, like I said, was my belief system. For a long time, I would hesitate. I would get frustrated. People made me, the Christians, made me feel like I was dirty and something was wrong with me, which it wasn't. It took me a long time to be true to myself, to understand that I am a very sensual person when it comes to what I like. And I don't mind being transparent about that. I like what I like, and that's what it is. It's nothing wrong with that. You as a woman should be able to articulate what you like and what you don't like when it comes to things like that. Or, picking different toys and stuff. It's nothing wrong with exploring. I don't care what anybody says, nothing wrong with exploring. It's all up to you on how you handle things and how you want to be. You'll know that inner part of you will start talking, and you'll know what bothers you or what you don't like or what you do like. So it is what it is. But like I said, it bothered me because back then I used to be a puppet, a do girl, a people pleaser. And it hindered my business so bad to the point I wasn't making the money um, like I wanted to and how I was, you know, which was ridiculous to me as I think about it now because of a belief. Because my thing is like this, and people have to understand it goes to the basis. God created you, He gave you free will. Things that go on with you, it's birthed in you for a reason. Yeah, there's ways in life that when you're traveling, when you're growing up, that can tender you to the left or to the right, but you always go back to what's innate in you. Either you understand it or you don't. I don't get it when people say that they don't get it, but I get it. I understand, that sometimes when you have limited beliefs, that it will stagnate you. For instance, I can accomplish everything, like what I'm doing with this, with let's bring it to the table and exquisite taste with knowledge power hour. Have that list going of everything that I need to do, like for today. Let's say the list had 20 things on it. Today was the first time I didn't concentrate on task number 3 because I didn't get it right. That's the first time I've done that. And I'm proud of me that I did not allow something so tedious, because it wasn't even really, it was important, but because it didn't come out right the way I wanted it, it doesn't mean that it's going to make and break everything else I was capable of succeeding at for today. So, just like the reviews I do on TikTok that I started doing, my belief is I think I did a great job. Reason why I say I did a great job is because I stepped out. So with that being said, I did not limit my thoughts. Even though I had to redo introductions on the videos 10, 15 times, I didn't get through with 3 videos until 2 o'clock in the morning. I got it done. I didn't give up. I didn't stop until I got them completed. And somebody else would have told me, you probably need to just stop what you're doing. You don't need to be doing that anymore. That's not cool. And I have to say this, and we have to understand. People who try to stagnate you or try to stop you don't understand. I promise you they don't understand. And if they did step out and they stopped because of one thing, that's on them. That doesn't give them the right to tell you like their expertise, because what didn't work for them might work for you. So don't let your list or the things that you decide to do or something block you when there might be a way around it. This is something I do a lot of too. I spend a time over focusing on what I'm saying to myself or what is being said to me. You can't do that. That's one of the reasons why exquisite taste is still where it's at and it's not where it needs to be. Is because of letting people tell me their thoughts, their opinions of what they didn't feel like I should do when it came to that business. But I can't stress that enough to, for everyone to understand that you can't let your products and services. You can't let other people come in and tell you what they like, what they don't like, and let it stagnate you. Of course, like my sister Lois, I can use her as an example. She makes cinnamon rolls. Do I like all her cinnamon rolls? No. Do I like the fact that she put a lot of frostings on her cinnamon rolls? No. I'm a special case. I can eat her cinnamon rolls without the frosting. I like it just the way it is. I'm not a big on sugary that way with that. So, it doesn't hinder her business. Everything that she sells and the way that she does it does not stop just because I say I don't like a lot of sugar on my cinnamon rolls, or I might not like her walnut cinnamon roll or her orange cinnamon roll. That's not me. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. Did I try it? Yes, because I want to make sure that her product is up in quality. But I don't like them. But I love all the others. Her strawberry shortcake, her red velvet, her peaches cinnamon rolls. She got a slew of them. Her combination, which it was raisins and apples in it. I'll eat that, and pecans. But you have to understand that sometimes, that this stagnates people. If you got something and it's good and people are telling you, don't let that one, don't let that 15, don't let 100, because you got 1,000 telling you it's great. Don't let them people stop you. And it's another thing that you're going to have to not let people do. Give you a whole lot of more stuff to make when you're trying to succeed at what you got. I tell people that all the time. Get maybe 4, maybe 5 products. Concentrate on the success of that, and then pull out what is the best sellers. And the ones that are not, put them to the side, go back to the lab and pull some more. Yes, there's a lot of companies that have a whole lot of products, but I know some companies that are very successful and they only do 5 to 10, maybe 10. It's not that many that does 10, but some of them have 5, maybe 4 products, 6 I've seen, and they went from there, and it's just them. You can't do it all when it's just you, because you got to learn how to give the task out to somebody else who might be that's their forte. So learn how not to overthink that, when spending time over what something's been said. Don't do that. Another thing, I know some people do, and this hinders you. See, I wrote my notes. Is acting on your intense emotions. When it comes to business, there's no feelings. My dad used to tell us that all the time. Your feelings don't dwell here. You do what I say, and we'll talk about it later. But your feelings right now does not matter. This got to be done. And that's when we had Sonia's Cafe, when my dad would tell me that even though I had other things going on, I had school going on, I had to learn how to make all that work. And I did a good job my senior year. I think I did a real good job, with balancing work, business, school, and that bit, doing it all, running I was a captain of the flag team. I did it all. So you have to learn to not let those intense emotions, because of how something is said or whatever, give you a reason to and lead you through this thought process and cause this belief. It'll cause a belief that will cause an action that can be your downfall. You don't want that. We may not want to do is face the facts of the opinion or whatever's going on, but we got to make sure that this serves us, or is it going to save us? I'm a very logical thinker, and I have to learn how to step into that way more now than anything. And I think a lot of people need to do that. You step into that so fear does not stop you from being limitless. Because when you do that, you're able to comprehend and get the facts of what you're looking for, and from a different angle. I always tell people there's four corners to a wall, and that corner has four corners. So you have to understand that your it'll break down your communication. Your beliefs will. It'll break it down. You have to understand that you could be working your business from a whole different headspace if you reset your mindset as you go through the day. If something is hindering you, don't stop. Go to the next and keep it moving. You have to keep it moving. Otherwise, like I said, you limit yourself. A lot of people, that's what it limit themselves. Um, something else that people do is when they're starting, especially when they're starting something, they always have this thought of, I'm not good enough. Who said you weren't? How can you manifest something when you feel that you're not good enough? Especially if you're great at what you're doing. You might not be good at math. You might not be good at setting up, but you're good in that lab of how you put things together. You have to change your mindset in many different ways. Your feelings. You might not think you have the necessary skills, but hey, if you're able to mix something just by looking or doing, that's a skill maybe somebody else might not have. I can eyeball things and get it close, but some people know by looking at things how and be on T about the size, the width, the feet, you know, because that's their gift. And you know, when your belief is not set in a positive way, and you're thinking you're not good enough, you're damaging yourself. Your self-doubt comes in, procrastination comes in, and lacks of confidence come in. I remember someone tried to tell me I wasn't good enough, and I'm very, it's a word I want to use, but I can't use it because we're on Facebook. But I'm very yeah, it bothered me. But my arrogance came into play, and I had to prove them wrong, and I did. I proved them wrong because my thing is, and then I had to learn too. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. They can say what they want to say, do what they want to do. It doesn't matter. I have the right type of support team around me that supports me. They encourage me. They motivate me, and um, I'm always seeking out to learn and grow my skills. Once you have that type of team that's around you, then you should not never feel that you're not good enough, that you can't. I have to say that my best friend getting into this, doing what I do, he's always been an encourager for me. Number one encourager. I have other encouragers who's right there in line with him, but he's a number one encourager. His thing always been, God didn't give it to me. I'm here to help you. And I love that about him, is the fact that this is what he do. And a lot of people, you need that type of support system that'll tell you when you right, or say, hey, you might want to look at this a little bit differently, or let me say this, and help you just open your mind and your mindset to know that there's more than one way to something. Everybody cannot be, and I'm saying this now, because everybody think that being an entrepreneur is what you got to be. I'm telling you, everybody can't be a natural entrepreneur. This ain't for the weak. I know people who gets in and gets out. They gets in, they gets out, they give up, because of the belief system that they have, and it doesn't help their business grow. And it's because they didn't take the necessary steps. And the one thing you have to have is that is what did the guy say on TikTok? You got to have that dog in you to overcome, to recognize that this is a skill that you have to learn and develop as well. I'm natural at what I do, but I still had to get in there and learn. I still had to get in there and get the other skills and the strategy. Everything is not my forte. Everything is not, you know, hmm, I'm good at what I'm good at. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And you can be too. But you can't let those, just because you might not be natural, that's when you expedite. That's when you seek out. You get other people to do. Can I do a website? Very, very basic. I don't like them because I'm not. I know people. There's people out there that can do better, and there's nothing wrong with that. I tell you all the time. Get the Fiverr, and there's another one I can't remember the name. Get them under your belt and go out there and use them. It's nothing wrong with bringing in people. Get you a virtual assistant if you have to take on some of the jobs that you need done. Make sure you get an accountant too. You're going to need that. You might not think you do, but you do. I'm gonna say that it's okay that you're able to do your books and you do everything, but you have to have somebody to come back and go over what you done. If you don't have a degree in accounting and you don't know the laws, you don't know what might make or break you in the tax structures and the laws, you need to get with somebody. It's nothing wrong with talking with a CPA or even hiring one. That's their job, that's their duty, to know these things. And a lot of people say, well, they don't know taxes, they don't know deductions. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Stop nickel and diming and invest in your business in the way that you need to in order to get this. Can I do tax? Yes, I took intense classes in accounting. I took business accounting, basic accounting. I took computerized accounting. I took tax accounting. I took those courses because I thought I wanted to be an accountant. And when I got into the law of it, not my forte. I'm more curious on things than I am than wanting to do. I like to learn. That's my forte. I like to learn. So when your beliefs make you feel like it's impossible to succeed, you can't compete with established businesses. And my thing about that, because somebody was saying that to me about all these other things that people got going on, and they're saying, why do you got this live and everything? I said, because it's mine, because I want it. And they said that there's many more people that's out there that got it. They're doing different things. What I'm doing ain't got nothing to do with other people doing. And I say it all the time. You could never be my competition. You can't, because I don't want what you got. You'll be competing to yourself. I don't want what you got. I am my own competition. I am always trying to outdo what I've done. That's just how I am. I don't have time to be worried, frustrated, confused, or feeling hopeless about competing with someone who's been here 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, 10 years. I just don't. And everybody should be that way. You can't compete with other people. They're not you. You have to stay focused on your unique values and your position and what sets you apart from them. Identify your niche, the target market, the focus, the exceptions to your values and your services that brings your customer keep coming back. And also learn your market strategy for social media and digital marketing. Target your audience, understand your brand, and brand is something that we learn young, and that's even in life. Your name matters. Don't let nobody screw your name over. And that's just the same way with your business, with what you have going on and the things that you're doing. You don't let other people steer you away from what you're doing. You can't. Um, and this is another thing that's funny to me about, enough time and money. I'm gonna always say I ain't got enough time in a day. I work a full-time job to keep the roof over my head, to keep that part, but I need more time. But I have to learn how to manage my time, you know, and get done what I have to get done. Money, hmm, people got to understand, you limit yourself when you don't invest in yourself. If it takes you to go take a class or learn something or improve what you're doing, getting in, as I say, when you're doing products, get into your lab, create or improve, you got to do it. And there's nothing wrong with spending money to invest in yourself or invest in your business. You have to. Um, you might say, I'm gonna do water. So I'm gonna go and get water, but I want my water to be for the luxury brand. I want to be bigger than Fuji. I want to be bigger than all the other luxury waters that cost money. And there are waters that out there that cost a couple of $1,000. If you don't know, look it up. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do better. Let's say I'm gonna do better than Sam's or Walmart. This is just a plain bottle of water. What do you see wrong with this? It's cheap because look at the plastic. If I squeeze hard enough, it'll bust open. Where other bottles, it won't. But this, I can squeeze this open and it'll bust wide open. You have to understand that when you're putting things together, for them, this is cost efficient because they make water all day long. And they're nickeling and diming because they got into a place, because I remember when this wasn't like this. But now that they are nickel and diming to get where they want because they got a product that's demand. It doesn't stop the quality of the water. It's just that what they put it in. Some business cannot thrive that way, especially when you're dealing with luxury, or you're dealing where you want to be classed as a certain type of brand. Now, if you just want to be basic, then we do basic things. But you can't do basic things and think you can sell to the higher ups. You can't, unless they get down like that, you know. But some people, when it comes to luxury items, it's got to look, smell, and taste a certain way, and that's just the name of the game. You know, some people willing to pay that. You know, where I'll spend $130 on some makeup, somebody else won't do that. They'll go to the dollar store and get makeup, and it might be just as good as the makeup that I bought. But at the same time, don't get it twisted. LA Color was the brand. Everybody bought that. And somewhere down the line, because of their marketing or whatever, they lost, and it still served them to be where they at. You know, they still, selling and doing and profiting because they're all over. You know, it's just how you market your core of your business. You know, your limited beliefs, you got to, like I said, prioritize and get your resources and focus on the activities that will make you an impact for your business and for your life. You know, another thing, don't be afraid to fail. I think I failed more times than I've been on this earth, and I'm 52. But it has never stopped me from getting where I want to be. What some people say, well, you should just quit, you shouldn't even do this or whatever. I've always been, well, what can I do different? What was it that made this not taste right or not do right? And the reason why I did that is because I remember when my mom went to the hospital to have my baby brother, and she was teaching me to cook. Well, she was at the hospital having the kid, and she had him, and daddy came home and said, I need you to cook dinner for everybody. I'm like, Okay, like what? He said, make some spaghetti. Mama didn't teach me how to make spaghetti. Didn't know how to make spaghetti. There was no cookbook. So I had to go based off of what I thought I saw her do. That was the first and the last time that I made horrible spaghetti. When I said that spaghetti was horrible and it was a failure, my dad had to end up going to the store to get some food and bring it back for that day because the dog wouldn't even eat the spaghetti. It was just that bad. My brothers can tell you it was just that bad. I mean, they rode me for a long time. But my dad told me, he said, to err is human. And just because you made that mistake is not going to stop you. You're going to be able to cook. You're going to learn how to cook. He said, no, the spaghetti was not good. But that does not mean that you fail as a cook. And guess what? I picked up my bootstraps and I got back in there and I taught myself how to make spaghetti. I did. I was working at the library. Found the cookbook. Read it. Didn't check it out. I read it multiple times. Got it in my head, came home, they ate that spaghetti. You know. So I learned. You don't stop. I know people who just stop because they fail at something. They stop. And the fear is of them failing. Failure is nothing but a lesson. You figure it out, change it, even your perspective on it, and you move with that, and you do, and then you celebrate what you learn and you grow. There's nothing wrong with that. Failure is what make your backbone stand up straight. You know, we celebrate those successes, and you can celebrate the failures too, because without them, you wouldn't know which way to go. You can't. We're not perfect. We're perfectly made by God, but we're not perfect. So you gotta be able to understand that. Don't let this break you. Don't let this be a chain of doubt across your head. And when there's heights of success that could be there for you, I challenge you to just sit down and write a plan where you want to see yourself next year. If you're starting a business or you're doing a business right now, where do you want to see yourself? Not next year. Well, it is next year, at the end of the year. Me and my cousin have a plan. Next year, we're going to be 7 figures, not 6. We want to be 7-figure earners. And we're going to do everything we need to do to accomplish that. Now, if you want to join the club, let me know. Because the team works, make the dream works. And everybody can make their own individual 7 figures. You take action today and you start unlocking that hidden potential that you have. You got to. A lot of people don't seem to think that they can, but you can. And you know something else we do with our procrastination? We always hollering about, when I said about time, we don't have enough time. Everybody makes that excuse. But guess what? In order to become a success, you got to find the time to do what you need to do, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, depending on what you do. 5 minutes. Do y'all think doing this podcast is just getting up and sitting down? No. Certain things I have to research. Certain things I have to get an understanding. Do y'all understand the emails I sent out to get corporations? Because that's where my goal is now, is to start having companies and corporations. I'm not doing any more of what I used to do. I'm going after them because that's what I want. I'm going after companies and people who are successful, and it's working for me. So you got to make the time. I have a set goal of how many I sent out, and with all the no's or the non-responses, I do get yeses. So you have to make time, and people make time for what's important to them. Sitting in front of a TV, sitting on a phone all day, or not working to make things that matter to you, you claim that matter to you, doesn't work. Don't think you don't have what it takes. Just because there's something that's roadblocking you and you might not understand it, make Google your friend. Go to the school of YouTube. Go to Pinterest. I found some interesting things on Pinterest. There is a slew of too many social media sites, websites, Coursera, Academia, um, Khan Academy. Khan Academy is for your children. If you don't know, I've known Khan Academy when I had my son, and I made sure that he was on that program of what they, and it was free. It still is free as far as I know of, but I'm telling you, Khan Academy is the way to go, and they do have adult classes and stuff, of learning different things if they haven't changed that format. But Khan Academy, KHAN Academy, it's good, and I'm telling you, um, don't do that. You got what it takes. Don't let fear stop you. Just because somebody say, I know somebody for real though. They went before bottled waters was a thing. My brother, and he spoke to one of his uncles, and he said, "Why would anybody want to buy bottled water?" And this was before bottled water was a thing. You can get it by the gallon, but they didn't have it in bottles. This is when he was a teenager. Bottled water wasn't a thing like that, and he wanted to do bottled water, and he allowed someone to tell him no when he could have been making millions now. And he made it to, he told himself, I'll never allow anyone else to stop me from getting where I need to be as a success. That was a skill that he learned. You can do it. Even if you don't have the skill, you can do it. You got the World Wide Web at your feet. Use it. You don't have to call nobody. You don't have to ask, even though I do call people to confirm, but I don't go to someone, for everything. I do what I have to do. And that's all you have to do. You know, Even in strength, some people think they're not strong enough to push through. That belief, stay out that comfort zone. I keep telling people you can't get comfortable. You can't get comfortable in business. You can't get comfortable on your job. You can't get comfortable in relationships. You can't get comfortable in life. I'm going to say it again. Relationships, you can't get comfortable. You can't get comfortable on your job because they'll let you go in a blink. You can't, none of that in your life, none of it. You cannot. You have to understand that when you get comfortable, you get stagnated. Is nothing wrong with having rejections and failures and discomforts. That's what keeps you on your toes. And even though there are risks and you might end up getting hurt, that hurt will not be bad. It will teach you something. And another thing, you do know that in business there is love because you gain relationships, um, you gain partnerships, and you have to understand that you deserve it. And not just in business, this is in life as well. You deserve it. Don't limit yourself to believe that you don't deserve it just because something might hurt a little bit, or an argument, or somebody might cheat, or might steal from you. When it comes to things, somebody might take a recipe. Those are risks that we always take. We take risks when we wake up. So it's nothing wrong with that. Identify what might be your limited belief. I think people can do that. You identify it, understand unlimited potentials that's within that, and pull it out, and stop allowing that limited belief to take over you and have you stagnated when your mind has to grow and you have to get where you got to go to fix it. If you don't fix it, it will be fixed, and then you're going to be stagnated in there, and you're just going to be in a cup. and or a box, and you're never going to be able to get out. You're going to be so comfortable with just being there, and life is going to go on, and you're going to think it's okay when it's not. That's not how life is set up. But a lot of people give up that way. I've heard people that said when they been on the job I was on, before I got this one, there was a lady. She had been working at the hospital since she was 17. She graduated high school, and that's where she been. She had been in that position for several decades, several, and she was retiring. And I was telling her congratulations on her retirement, and she had this weird look on her face, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And she said, and you know, certain things people say, it impacts me in a way to know that I don't want to be in that position. She said, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. All I ever done was go to church, go to work, go to the grocery store, and go home, and I raised my kids, and all I did was for them. I don't know what to do now. Is that what life's supposed to be? She never took a trip unless it was to go visit relatives or whatever. She never knew what was outside of where she stayed. You know, some people get to experience things and they say, well, I've already done that, but did you do it with the person you with? Did you do it with your children? Did you do it with your friends? That experience would never be the same as if you did it. You know, everybody say, I get up every morning, it's the same. No, it's not. But how you got up yesterday is not the same as you got up today. I'll say it again. The way you got up yesterday is not the same as the way you got up today. And if that goes over your head, I'm sorry. But believe in your self-worth and believe that you can overcome, and that you can be limitless in what you're wanting to accomplish. You have to understand that. If you allow your limited beliefs to keep you in a negative state of mind, it will hinder you from encountering the new opportunities and the life experiences, and it will wreak havoc on your mental health. That's why it's so important not only to work on your self awareness and your self esteem, but also recognize the unconscious bias that's holding on to this bias and the negativity that's hindering your ability to effectively move and impact in what you're wanting to do. Not just in life, but in business as well. This is something that it impacts. You know, you might be good at making wine, but because you are a Christian, or because you the the group of people that you are around, they might not like wine. They might think that it's a sin to drink wine. They might think that it's wrong to drink wine because they don't drink wine. They don't want you drinking wine. Well, guess what? If that's the way you make your money, feed them fish eggs. You don't let other people's opinion of what you do or snooze their nose at you to stop you from doing what you do. If you're great at making wine, because guess what? Jesus made wine, and I think they partied all night long. Because who wouldn't? He made wine for the party, for that celebration. So if he made it, then guess what? It's good. The problem that people don't understand is the gluttony. When you overdo anything, it's considered a sin. So don't overdo it. That's the issue. You can't allow your mind to be weak and not be able to overcome certain things. You just can't. You have to understand that your quality of your work, it impacts everything. And you know what? And your limited beliefs can impact your team, whether it's your team of your tribe of people who are trying to support you, that's engaged in what you're doing and trying to help you come to a solution, that limited belief will impact them. And then one day you're going to be like, you're going to say something, they're just going to look at you. They're going to still have your back because they love you, but they don't have anything to say because your limited beliefs, your negativity, and instead of you changing your mindset, you are, all of us were born brilliant. We have innovative minds and ideas that can impact this world in such a positive way. Um, all leaders don't have to be in the front. You can be a great leader without being in the front. Understand that with these factors, that with your limited beliefs, you might end up with what they call the imposter syndrome, or and people walk around with that every day, where they sit up here and they act like they're something that they're not, instead of being to their own self be true. That's a painful experience, especially when you're out here, because they do it every day on social media. You have people who sit out here and put on this facade, which is a cute thing though, because it gives some people hope. But in truth, that their relationship is one door over from divorce, or him walking out or her walking out and them not being together. But they put on this facade for the gram or for TikTok, as if they all lovey dovey when they're not. I don't like the fakeness in that. I get it in a sense, but it still don't make it right. It still gives these people a hope of something that may come in their life, and or may not, but when that truth get out there, then you're false, you're an imposter. So reshape your life. And that's why I work on being as much as transparent as I possibly can, because my thing is, I'm not perfect. And I've had to tell people that all my life, because they look at me because of the way I carry myself. The way I carry myself is the way I carry myself for me. I can't help how you dictate that in your mind. That's on you, not on me. I know me. I know me very well. I make mistakes every day. Every day. So overcome this. Even if you're in your workplace, if you know for a fact that the position you in is not where you want to be, do something about it. Change it. Change it. It's funny, when you look at that and you want to change your belief system and you might want to do better, do it. Don't make excuses for not. If you're great at training, see if there's an avenue for you to train. If you're even in your business, see if there's an avenue, to where you can build a book or a training manual to teach people how to do what they do, of what you do, especially if you're good at it. Identify things, and I'm going to tell you again, those belief systems, the ones that's stopping you, write them down and see why. See why. See why are you putting yourself in that position with that? A lot of people, they don't. They don't do it. You need to identify and you need to write it down. It don't take but 10 minutes to work through. You're willing to go through that. And leave those thoughts on that paper and burn it, especially if they're negative. Um, I know some people say, well, I wrote them down, that should be enough. No, it's not. I do analytical work in my head, when it comes to certain things, to make sure that I'm not incorporating anything false, but to make it right, or to make the changes that I need to do with what bothers me. And it's not a justifiable fire, it's just the things I have to do to make the changes. You have to do that self-evaluation. When you do that, you're not limited. You don't wreak havoc on people or anything. It's just that you're doing this to enlist to help you, in order for you can lead by example. And another thing I like, and some people don't, but that's on them, one day they will open their eyes and they'll see that negativity don't do nothing but bleed a evil heart or a black heart. And you can't say you love people, you can't say you this, that, and the other when that's all you reaping. Because you're not. You're not. Um, Positive affirmations. When I tell you they work, they work. I'm a firm believer in that. I, every night, and I speak this over several people, and because you never know, you never know. And so in my head I say it because I want the best for them. I'll say, God, whatever's not for them, remove it and bring your abundance overflow to them. If they hinder from it, open their eyes, their heart, and their soul to receive it, because they all deserve it. But anything that is not of you, that's been spoken over them, that's not of you, remove it and send it back to sender. And those are over the people that I truly, truly love. Yeah. So affirmation is good, but don't say you're not good enough and you can't do it. You know, you can do it. I am good enough. Refrain from that. Don't say you don't have enough time. You do have time. You make time for what you want. And please do not give up. Whatever you do, you might have to step back a minute, but do not give up. Don't. What are you giving up on? Just because you might not think that you might not be able to move the way that, because of how you see other people or how you read things that people, when I tell you to read something or gain understanding, you make it your own. You move the way you need to move with it, not the way other people try to get you to do it. You got to do it your way. You just do. You can't do it no other way, because what works for me might not work for you. And I tell people that all the time. What works for me might not work for you. You know, I know people who like picking up snakes. I will never pick up snakes. That will never work for me. Never, never, never. You know, I also understand success is not easy. It's not a one hit wonder. You ain't going to get no one lick. Some people do, depending on what it is. If you got that idea that works, but you still got to work it in order to bring it to fruition. So you got to do what you got to do. Some people, they don't get that. They really don't. And never say what you're not ready for, because you're ready. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be here. If you weren't, then you wouldn't have gotten started. People can never do better than you. They're not you. You might seem to you that they're doing better than you. They can never do better than you because they're not you. Even my thing, I just thought about it. One thing I do know that because I'm 52, sometimes I feel like I was cheated out of 20 years, and I should be further along than what I am, but I am where I'm supposed to be. Growth in maturity and time is different from everyone, and everything doesn't come in the way that it's supposed to. So you got to get that understand, and you ready. And nobody can take your opportunities away from you. Don't believe that they can. You can't change the mindset of that. Understand, no one can take that opportunity away from you. They might can block you for a minute, but you'll figure it out. You'll figure out a way, to do that. And business success is an all or nothing. That's a mindset that affects everybody. It's not going to be an all or nothing for me. It's going to be what it's going to be. And I have flexible goals. instead of concrete goals now, because I have to understand how to change things, get things to improvement. Because if you're not having the flexibility to do that, then there's no way that you can succeed in that. So I think we're at the end. We're at the it's 2 minutes after, so we're on our end of this, and so I have to. Um, we're going to go back into the other part of business um, next week because, like I said, this series is till the end of the year, and so I'm working on it. Confirmation's coming. So we can make sure that we're where we need to be because there's some other things that I want to talk about, but I know we got to get some things done as well, as far as making sure you understand not just the startup, but the mindset. That's what today was about. It was about the mindset of your mind in order to build your business or to understand how to start without stopping. I said all that I said today to say, do not let anyone limit you, not even yourself, because that hinders you from being the success that you need to be. Not what you want the world to see you to be, but what you need to be, not just in business, but in life as well. So understand that. I'm hoping that a lot of y'all get that understanding with that. You might desire for your business to be a success in 6 months. Understand nothing's a success in 6 months like that unless you have an awesome team that's willing to grind just that hard. But Rome was not built in a day. And like this, the podcast that I do under Exquisite Taste Network, I've met one of my markers where other people shut down in 6 months or they're shut down in a year. I've been here and didn't even realize I've been out here just that long. And that's a great success because I'm not worried about time. I'm not worried about the goals that's out here with this. I'm taking every initiative and every step that I need to in order to learn this and to build this into where it's supposed to be, where it's going. And you can too. Thank you, Alois. Um, but like I said, next week we're going to still be on our topic about our business series, and we might be talking about blueprints. It's a lot when y'all want to tell you so much different sections. Sometimes in my head I know where I want to start, and I didn't bring my paper over here. It's over in my bedroom of my list of how and I keep changing it, and it's fine because that's what it's for. It's for me to change of because of the information I want to provide to you for you to get an understanding to help you start. Because like I said, a lot of people, they come in here and they tell you do this, get an EIN and blah blah blah, and that's it. No, it's some things, some hidden gems in here that they don't tell you that you need to know. Okay, so love yourself enough to leave the table when respect is no longer being served, but when knowledge is given, write it down and make it plain so you can understand, so it can be powerful for you. If you don't use the knowledge that's been provided, you're just going to be a millionaire dead in the grave, just like the rest of them who have the thought process and the know-all, and they gatekeeped it because they didn't want somebody else to get it, and they didn't want somebody else to be a success. This is the time as us as a people, we're going to have to stop gatekeeping information. And I was told I could sell this. Some of it, yeah, I can. I could do it, but I'm not the gatekeeper. Just like I got out here and learned it, y'all can learn it too. I could take that attitude, but I'm giving you what I have because you got to start somewhere, or you got to take your business to another place. If you've been sitting in the same place since last year or the year before last, you might want to rethink that. Don't get comfortable. But until next time, I see y'all next week, Wednesday, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Share, follow. And until then, we'll see you later. Okay? Bye.